This episode will be completely taken out of context. Welcome to the Fact Check This podcast.
All right, fact check this, and I'm back from my little vacation. Went home, spent some time with my parents and my brother and sister-in-law and nephew, and went and saw some friends from high school and college, and got to have a lot of good time to just kind of unwind and hang out. So it was good. We are in the home stretch. My plan is by the end of summer, this will be done. Jim and I will do the final Jim and Justin's Dumb Gay Shit Show, and that'll be it. For those who watch this on Facebook, I do not do political commentary on Facebook anymore. After Sean passed, I just decided not to do that. But I do still do that on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And I am going to start writing and doing stuff exclusively on X. So there will still be some video content. There will still be some political stuff, but it'll only be on X. It'll be pretty rare, few and far between. It's not going to be a scheduled, weekly kind of a thing. So for those who do watch this on Facebook, you need to go follow me on Twitter or X, because that's where stuff will be of the political nature in the future and going forward. All right, with all that being said, and forgive me as I drink my breakfast. We got a lot going on today. My wife is homesick, and my daughter is getting her license, and we have to leave in about an hour, so I got to kind of hustle. I'm doing everything all at once. For those who read the title of today's show, Migrants, South America, and Trump's Influence, there's a couple different articles that neither of them are particularly long, and I thought they both kind of went together a bit. Not a great connection, but there is some connection. And I thought they were both interesting. One of them is interesting when you look at South America and what's been going on there. How crazy is it that since the defunding of USAID, now all of South America has, like every South American election has gone conservative. Crazy, right? Like, stop funding USAID and suddenly all of the commies can't win elections. Wow. Interesting. And then the other one is about migrants. We're going to start with that one, actually, because I probably have more to say about that one. Maybe. We'll see. The article itself is interesting, I guess. Trump's indiscriminate war on migrants is a war on the best of America. I think anybody who has paid any attention over the last just 5 years or so would say that a war on migrants is a war on the best of America is objectively wrong. Objectively wrong. But let's see what the author says. On this 250th anniversary, we are a diminished, insecure, fearful country waging war on our greatest asset, our migrants, the people we once were, the people without whose ancestors none of us would be here. That is absolute, objective, bull fucking shit. Straight up. This idea that, oh, we're all migrants. No, our ancestors were settlers. Our ancestors came to tame a wild frontier. Oh, there were people already here. Yeah, who had developed all of nothing. Like, everything that you see, all of society, was built by settlers. The migrants, the people, not the people coming now, are not who we once were. The people who are coming now are fucking leeches on society that are coming to suckle on the teat of everything that our ancestors built. Our ancestors were conquerors. They were builders. They were developers. These things that are coming, they are fucking parasites. Don't compare our ancestors to what is coming to this country now. And of course, if you look at the guy's picture, you see everything you need to know. The running gag in America's yellow-bellied war on migrants is that if you're here legally, you're welcome. But if you're not, we're coming after you. The discrimination is not that discriminating. As far as I'm concerned, send them all back. If they've come in the last 10 years, send them all back. I don't fucking care. That's not entirely true. But it's a good start. Send them all back, and then you can try, and then you can reapply. If you had already gotten legal status, then you get bumped to the front of the line for readmission. If you're not here legally, goodbye. Fuck off. Don't come back. They're even the Department of Homeland Security has even put out a thing that says, like, if you're here on this on the TPS, which has expired, or illegally some other way, they will send out notifications and let you know, hey, we know where you are. We know you're here. We'll give you $2,600 and a plane ticket back to your home country and or wherever else it is you wish to go. And you can then start the process of potentially being permitted to enter legally, to re-enter legally, and go for citizenship and all of that stuff. Or if not, we're going to round your ass up and we're going to haul you off and ship you back, and then you can't come back. And if you do come back, we're going to punish you again. I don't have a problem with that, necessarily. The reigning rule on the eve of the 250th anniversary of our vanishing republic. If you're brown, black, or otherwise undesirable, we're coming after you. Yes. If you support the wrong kind of liberation movement, like, say, Palestinian rights to avoid an Israeli Holocaust, or if you say the wrong thing about MAGA America on social media, we're coming after you pretty much by any means necessary. That is objectively untrue. If you say anything wrong about MAGA America on social media, nobody fucking cares. Nobody's coming after you and banging your door down because you said something disrespectful about Trump. Unlike, say, in Europe, where if you say something about these migrants who are destroying those countries, raping and murdering people every single fucking day, if you say something about that, you absolutely will be thrown in jail. Nobody's coming to throw you in jail for being critical of Donald Trump. Shut the fuck up. And Palestinian rights to avoid an Israeli Holocaust. The leftist love of Palestine is the most insane fucking thing I've ever seen. Israel is everything that the left loves. Israel is state-sponsored abortion without restriction. Tel Aviv has the largest per capita gay LGBTQ population on the fucking planet. Like, Israel stands for everything that the left loves. Palestine and the Islamic faith stands for everything that they hate. Islam is completely against abortion, completely against the LGBT stuff, completely against all of that. But for some reason, the left loves Palestine. It make sense. Like, there is no continuity of thought for the left. I just don't fucking get it. It doesn't matter if you have a green card. It doesn't matter if you're a naturalized citizen. We're coming after you. I haven't yet heard of a native-born American becoming an unperson, but that can't be far off. When a country loses its civil liberties and defaults from human rights to demonization, all bets are off. Nobody, to my knowledge, with a green card or a naturalized citizen has been deported. No native-born American has become an unperson. They project all of this bullshit. And it's funny because you can read the articles that the leftists write about what do we do with MAGA after Donald Trump goes away. It's everything that they complain that ICE and Trump and DHS are doing to legal immigrants, which isn't happening. Those are all the things that the left wants to do to MAGA supporters and Trump supporters whenever Trump's out of office. They believe that as soon as Trump is gone, that they're just going to wrestle all the power back for themselves. And then, like, they want you fucking dead. If you haven't figured that out yet, they want you dead. And they're not afraid to say it. And they're already making plans for when Trump's gone, what do we do to all his supporters? And everything that they claim is being done to migrants that isn't, that's the things that they want to do to Trump supporters. So just, like, file that away in the back of your head somewhere. They want you fucking dead. Period. We've become shamelessly familiar with immigration and customs enforcement's pogroms of undocumented migrants, most of whom have never committed a crime. They are here illegally. That is the crime, period. Get the fuck out. Bill Clinton said it himself. He said it doesn't matter if they haven't committed a crime since they've been here. They came here illegally. That is the crime. They got to go. That's Bill Clinton, fucking hero of the left. That was what he said back in 1994, I think it was. Like, shut the fuck up. Okay, let's concede that they crossed the border illegally or overstayed their visa, which makes them lawbreakers, even if they're not criminals. If you really want to destroy the economy, lose your farm workers, your cleaning crews, your roofers, your child care workers, and servers, you could argue that they should be thrown out, even if they're law-abiding, even if they work harder than you, me, our American neighbors put together, even if without them, Social Security would have already gone bankrupt, because it's thanks to them that we exploit their payroll and other taxes without having to pay them a dime. Let's concede that. Let's throw the fuckers out. You are a goddamn retard. Yes, let's throw the fuckers out, because all of this bullshit that you said, okay, first of all, the left loves slaves. Don't ever let them get it wrong, like, or fool you. They love their slavery. They just want it in the form of migrants who they can underpay for their farm workers, cleaning crews, roofers, child care workers, and servers. Even if they work harder than you, me, and our American neighbors put together, I guarantee you they work harder than this piece of fucking shit. They don't work harder than me. They don't work harder than most of the people that I know. In fact, and see, that's the problem, is that, yes, there are a lot of hardworking immigrants who are here on legal work visas, who do the job, who do a lot of those jobs every single year the right way. The ones who are here on TPS and illegally, the asylum seekers and all of that bullshit, they're here drawing Social Security, not Social Security. They're here on other government welfare programs. There is a whole laundry list of ways that they go about getting on these programs, which Democrats have a playbook for, and as soon as they bring them in here, they start loading them up on this shit. This isn't like fucking conspiracy theory at this point. They literally have fucking playbooks on how they do this. So this whole, the work harder than you, me, and our American neighbors put together, fuck you. Everybody works harder than journalists. Fuck you. You're a worthless piece of fucking shit. You are the vermin of the earth. You should be driven out of society. But the rest of us, they're not working harder than the rest of us. They are living off the backs of our taxes that we pay. Thanks to that, we exploit their payroll and other taxes. No. This has been disproven so many times. But the leftists will still run with it because they don't care about facts. They don't care about actual information. They need to run a fucking narrative, and this is the fucking narrative. But racism is not that discerning. Not in the slyly fascist calculus that wants a certain type of foreigner out of here. I don't want a certain time. I want fucking all of them out of here. Between executive orders and administrative rules, President Donald Trump is going after legal, documented workers from brown countries by eliminating their right to work in airports or daycare centers, to enroll in schools and universities, to drive trucks, or even fill higher-skilled jobs Americans are apparently too dumb to hold. Americans are not too dumb to hold these jobs. They give them to these useless motherfuckers because they're able to attain their permits and their licensing to do this stuff without actually having to go through the testing required to prove that they're capable of doing it. And then they can pay them pennies on the fucking dollar to do it. These migrants who are doing these jobs are actually too dumb to do it. That's why you keep seeing wrecks all the time. That's why you keep seeing all of these fuckers abusing kids and doing all this other terrible shit. Yes, pack every last motherfucking one of them up and send them out, including what's his fuck Pierre Tristam or whatever. He can go too. He looks like he's the wrong color skin as far as I'm concerned. He's a little too brown for my liking. Ship that motherfucker off too. For example, the administration is working to end the right even of American-born children of migrants to receive federal care for subsidies. Yes. Yes. You are not... If Amy Coney Barrett is perfect proof that the 19th Amendment should be repealed and that women should never have any say in anything that matters. They should not be allowed to make decisions, period. Because that ruling on the birthright citizenship was objectively wrong. There is no fucking way that you could read the 14th Amendment and get that any jack off from a third world nowhere can come here, dump a fucking kid, and that kid is now an American citizen. No, fuck you. That's wrong. Yes, I don't want the kids of these migrants to have anything. I want them to be deported with their fucking criminal parents. There. Fuck you. A green card is supposed to give you all the rights of an American citizen short of voting, serving on a jury, or running for office. I had one. I knew it. I knew what it felt like. But now the administration is banning green card holders from receiving small business loans. You're not an American citizen. You are here by our permission. You shouldn't just get anything you want. Our own Derek Bars, who used to be a school board member here and who now works for Trump as the administrator of the trucking division of the transportation department, has signed off on a new rule that makes it far more difficult for migrants to get commercial driver's licenses. Oh, you mean they have to actually go through the same things that American citizens have to go through to get the driver's license? Though trucking has been one of the great entry-level roads to migrants' American dream. Faustian's bargains don't become you, Derek. They do. The migrants are coming here. See, that's the fucked up thing, is they aren't being required to meet the same standards that American drivers are. And that's why they're allowed to do this. That's why it's such a great entry level for them, because they can just come in, go to fucking New York or California and be assigned a license without having ever proven that they can even drive a fucking truck. And then they get to run across country and fucking kill people here in Indiana and all over the place. There is at least one wreck a week of one of these fucking migrant drivers who kills 2 or 3 people here in Indiana every fucking week, at least once. Yeah, send them all the fuck back. They're not contributing anything. They're killing off our people. There's the illegal arrests and attempted deportations of numerous pro-Palestine green card holders who had the temerity to protest Israel's genocide in Gaza, but not a single equivalent of pro-Israel protesters succoring calls for the Palestinian genocide. There's the new State Department rule requiring all visa applicants to reveal all their social media accounts and set them to public. The State Department uses the content to vet applicants and reject them based on past opinions if those opinions don't conform with MAGA ideology. No, it's not if those opinions don't conform with MAGA ideology. It's if those opinions are anti-American. You are coming here, you want to be a citizen, you are subject to our rules, and you should love America. If you're coming here hating America, that's what conquerors do. That's what invaders do. You go somewhere that you don't like and you try to take over. If you're anti-American, yeah, get the fuck out. We don't want you. Fuck this shit. Fuck this motherfucker. The State Department uses the content to vet applicants and reject them based on past opinions if those opinions don't conform with MAGA ideology. Calling Palestinians animals is fine. Calling Trump anything but God is not. God, this guy is such a fucking retard. There's the new rule requiring mere applicants for the green card to leave the United States first, which is just another way of weeding undesirables. Yes, you just hit it right on the fucking head. Weeding undesirables. They are undesirable. They do not contribute. They are cancers on our society. They are fucking criminals. Send them the fuck out, make them reapply, and then decide whether or not they actually should be here. This should not be controversial. All that adds up to creative but sinister ways to send the message to non-Americans, especially non-Americans of certain pigments and origin, that they are not welcome, to force self-deportations, or to keep the downtrodden from imagining that Lady Liberty's lifted lamp beside the golden door is still for them. It is not. The new Colossus has been replaced by our new Caligula's ass. It's working. Government or schools are emptying out. Universities, which used to be the crown jewel of American progress and unstoppable factories of Nobel Prizes, are losing their brightest students to Europe and China. No, they're not. American innovation isn't far behind, except in retreading xenophobic laws and methods better suited for Franz Kafka's plots. Migrants, you all know Joseph K. now. What have migrants contributed? What innovation have they brought? I'll wait. None. Not a fucking bit. They're still not creating things. They're still not inventing things. What? Elon Musk has invented and created a lot of things. Is that the immigrant that we're talking about? No, the left hates him. He's the wrong kind of immigrant. The right kind of immigrant, the ones that are too dark complected and need to be fucking deported. What do they contribute? What do they actually create? What do they innovate? Not a goddamn thing. Send them the fuck out. They don't do anything. Our universities aren't emptying out to Europe and China and being robbed of the best and the brightest. The retards who shouldn't be here and who are bringing our education system down to begin with are the ones who are going away. And these universities are a fucking joke anyway. They're not actually teaching or putting out intelligent people. They're putting out fucking lemmings who have been brainwashed by leftist ideology. So shut the fuck up. Universities are a fucking joke. On this 250th anniversary, we are a diminished, insecure, fearful country waging war on our greatest asset, our migrants, the people we once were, the people without whose ancestors none of us would be. I'll be celebrating in a couple weeks, but it won't be today's America. It'll be the America I came to as a migrant 47 years ago, and that me and my children hope to see again before we dig our shithole too deep to get out of. You can always go back to whatever shithole you fucking came from, because I guarantee you it's infinitely worse than here, but you're here now with your fucking anchor babies. This dude is a piece of shit and can get out. But, he's really worried that, like, brown people are being shuttled out and aren't welcome here. Well, there's a fix for that because a lot of South America is starting to get their shitholes moving in the right direction with the dramatic Trumpification of Latin America. Real problems, copycattery, and a network of hacks have helped Donald Trump's pals win a string of elections. Or it was, the defunding of USAID, and now the commies no longer have unlimited government funding from the United States to run their elections. And by run their elections, I mean fucking rig them. To those who have sown terror all these years, your time is up, roared Abelardo de la Espriella, the winner of Colombia's presidential election on June 21st, from behind bulletproof glass. The former defense lawyer, who calls himself El Tigre, ran as a right-wing populist and outsider. He received gushing endorsements from another man who fits that description, Donald Trump. Mr. de la Espriella? Yeah, I'm going with Espriella. Sorry, I'm terrible with I took 2 years of Spanish. Don't speak a fucking lick. Sorry. Mr. de la Espriella is not the only Latin American president to echo Mr. Trump. Chile's president, Jose Antonio Cast, cuts a less flamboyant figure, yet within days of taking office in March, he was standing Trump-like in the desert on a border with Peru as army diggers cut a trench to stop immigrants. Chile has been violated by illegal immigration, he declared. Messrs. de la Espriella and Cast are part of a Latin America that is shifting to the right at unprecedented speed. Since Mr. Trump took office in January 2025, the right has won all 7 presidential elections in the region. See the chart. In October, Brazil could follow suit. No prior political wave has run at this pace, breadth, or uniformity. Nor is this a return to the center-right, but to a harder Trump-imitating politics. It is happening because voters are fed up, and Mr. Trump's priorities, criminal gangs and illegal immigration, also exercise many Latin Americans. His combative, hyper-online style is being deliberately adopted. It is winning elections, but it may not fix the region's biggest problems: insecurity and sluggish economies. The ranks of new Trump-like presidents go well beyond Mr. De La Espriella and Mr. Cast. Presidents Javier Milei in Argentina and Nayib Bukele in El Salvador top the list and inspire their own imitators. In different ways, Presidents Daniel Noboa of Ecuador, Nasri Asfura of Honduras, Laura Fernandez Delgado in Costa Rica, and Keiko Fujimori, Peru's president-elect, also fit the pattern. Fujimori is pretty badass. I've seen some videos of her. The leading right-wing hopeful in Brazil, Flavio Bolsonaro, also imitates Mr. Trump, as did his father, the former president, Jair Bolsonaro. Santiago Peña of Paraguay is aligned, as is Rodrigo Paz, the president of Bolivia, despite being more centrist. Even Delcy Rodriguez, the interim president of Venezuela, a avowed Bolivarian socialist who was not elected to office, has cozied up to Mr. Trump out of self-preservation. The two countries now run military operations together. Mexico, on Mr. Trump's border, is the only big, clear exception. Latin America is surely now the world's most Trumpian region. There are real differences between these figures. Mr. Noboa is more technocratic, Mr. Milei more libertarian, Ms. Fujimori and Mr. Cast are not outsiders. All are shaped by their own countries. Some downplay their similarities to Mr. Trump, yet they are undeniably part of the shift. The primary reason for this Trumpian turn is that voters' biggest problems overlap. Mr. Trump and his voters are angry about gangs shipping drugs into the United States. Latin Americans hate the bloodshed gangs create as they do it. Mostly as a result of gang violence, the region accounts for about a third of the world's murders, despite having only about 8% of the world's population. Costa Rica and especially Ecuador have recently suffered from extraordinary surges in murder rates. In recent elections in Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, El Salvador, Honduras, and Peru, security has been a dominant issue. It's funny because that's a big issue that got Trump elected as well. We have all of this crime, and guess what? People don't want to live in crime-ridden societies. If you clean up the crime in these areas, people don't need to flee. You don't need to have all these refugee seekers and migrants coming illegally to the United States. They can stay in their own countries because they're safe and they're secure. And it's the not addressing the economic issues that they talked about earlier. As they create security and safety and they clean up a lot of these problems, the economic side of it will start to come back. As people are feeling safe and secure, as businesses are feeling safe and secure, as they're able to build a healthy state, then they will be able to build healthy economies. But you have to have one before you can have the other, right? The alignment with Mr. Trump is deepest on adopting an aggressive militarized response. He has declared gangs to be a terrorist organization and has killed more than 200 people by blowing up small boats allegedly carrying drugs off the coasts of South America in operations which are almost certainly illegal. Are they, though? If they were illegal, wouldn't somebody have done something about it? And yet seem to be pretty effective. Guess what? They're not running on these boats anymore. I don't see a bunch of drugs being run on these boats anymore. So seems like it worked. If If one saves his country, nothing he does is illegal. Wasn't that the quote? Not exactly. I know I'm misworded it, but fuck you. Ecuador's Mr. Noboa has sharply increased the Army's role fighting gangs and launched raids with direct American operational support. Mr. De La Espriella promises to bomb the gangs, refuses to rule out use of American warplanes, and pledges to the capture or kill 10 gang leaders within 90 days of taking office. All are signed up to Mr. Trump's Shield of the Americas, a shared military effort to hit drug traffickers. Mr. Bukele provides the model, backed by Mr. Trump, for arrests and prisons. He has locked up a staggering 2% of the adult population in El Salvador, often without trial, many in a specialized purpose-built mega prison. In 2018, before he took office, the murder rate was over 50 per 100,000, one of the worst in the world. It is now less than 2, about the same as Canada. That has made him popular across the region. Turns out you really can just arrest your way out of the problem. Just lock up everybody who's a criminal. Don't let them out. Crazy, right? Wow. You mean we don't have to let criminals go every time they fucking murder somebody? Yeah, it turns out you can just lock them up and then you don't have problems. Wow. Nuts. Mr. De La Espriella promises to build 7 Bukele-style mega prisons in Colombia's jungle. Ms. Fujimori promises 4 new normal prisons and 1 mega. Mr. Noboa has built 1 and promises another. Conditions are grim. In Ecuadorian prisons, an inmate died on average every 7 hours last year. Some from fights and riots, but more from sickness and hunger. Oh well, who fucking cares? That's the cost of doing business. And in this case, your business was fucking crime. So if you die in prison, sucks for you. Maybe you shouldn't have been a fucking criminal. I don't know. Crazy, right? Crazy, the idea that you just don't commit crime and then you don't go to jail and then you don't risk dying in jail. Like, wow. Holding anybody accountable is complete fucking impossibility for the left, especially themselves. In the United States, irregular migration is also a hot topic in several Latin American countries. Some 340,000 undocumented migrants have arrived in Chile since 2018. Peru hosts about 1.6 Venezuelans who fed the failing economy and regime repression. Crazy that 1.6 million Venezuelans fled Venezuela. But yeah, we were totally the bad guys for taking out their dictator. That, like, the left does not have a fucking brain collectively. Like, every liberal combined have about 7 brain cells, probably, maybe. Let's see. Peru hosts about 1.6 million Venezuelans who fled the failing economy and regime repression. Mr. Cast is not just building a border trench, but has also promised to deport all of Chile's undocumented migrants. Ms. Fujimori has also promised deportations from Peru. Even in Argentina, less affected by Venezuelan migration, Mr. Milei has made deportation easier and has sent police on highly publicized immigration raids. Mr. Bukele has struck a deal with Mr. Trump to accept deportees from the United States who are from third world countries and put them in his mega prison. Given Latin America's history of synchronized political swings, it is tempting to wave away the recent Trumpian shift as mere anti-incumbency. That is part of it. Left-wing governments have left an economic mess in Argentina and worsening security in Colombia. But that would normally have meant victories for the established center-right. Instead, voters are rewarding candidates with the most extreme messages on tackling crime, even when it is a crude brand of security populism. Turns out people want security. Crazy, right? I mean, Japan just went through the same thing. They had one cycle of some leftists that let in immigrants all over the place and made everybody feel unsafe and insecure. And immediately, this time around, they elected a hard right-winger who's of the Trump brand. Crazy, right? People just want to feel safe and secure. And if you as a government are actively pushing policy that does the opposite of that, people are going to get pissed off. Wow, nuts. I know. Established center-right candidates mocked by the hard right as Derechita Cabarde, or the cowardly little right. Yeah, a bunch of cuck neocons is what we like to call them. Pussy politicians have repeatedly been outflanked. Voters remember when the center-right was in office and often think it achieved little because they don't achieve fucking anything. The anti-incumbency argument also ignores the fact that the new Trumpian right has won re-election in Costa Rica, Ecuador, and El Salvador. Polling data from 18 countries across the region show that Latin Americans identify more as right-wing than they have in more than 2 decades. There's also more to the rightward shift than overlapping voter concerns. Wannabe presidents are choosing to copy big parts of Mr. Trump's political style because they believe it will help them win. Above all, Mr. Trump has opened the door to angry outsider politics in the region. Without Trump, there could be no Javier Milei, as one Milei campaign staffer told the New Yorker, a magazine, after his victory. We set the tone for the Western Hemisphere, says United States Senator Bernie Moreno, a close Trump ally who was born in Colombia. The direct inspiration is often obvious. Mr. Milei's supporters have donned Make Argentina Great Again hats, and Mr. De La Espriella, an American citizen, as well as a Colombian one and Italian, celebrated Mr. Trump's win in 2024 by posting a video to social media in which he toasts a desire to make America and Colombia great again by downing a shot of his personal brand of rum. In an interview with The Economist before the first round of the Colombian election, he declared Mr. Trump an example of economic policy and his cultural battle against gender ideology. Mr. Cass cites the Trump administration's migration policy to argue that many immigrants in Chile will self-deport. Much of Latin America's new right copies Mr. Trump's communication style, his positioning as an outsider, and his relentless rhetorical and legal assaults on political opponents and the press. When journalists publish information that Mr. Bukele does not like, he issues warrants for their arrest. The norm-breaking tendency to put family and close friends in positions of power has also been copied, as has Mr. Trump and his family's interest in the use of cryptocurrencies. A hatred of causes perceived to be woke or globalist is perhaps the defining trait. Mr. Milei calls climate change a socialist lie. It is. And Mr. De La Espriella says the United Nations is an instrument of the left. It is. Mr. Cast is against abortion in all cases and has opposed his wife taking the pill. Based. Many have sought Mr. Trump's endorsement. In addition to Mr. De La Espriella, he also backed Mr. Asfira in Honduras, who went on to win. Mr. Trump endorsed Mr. Milei and his party in the Argentine midterms last year, as well as providing more than $20 billion in support from the U.S. Treasury to help avert a run on the Argentine peso. That helped Mr. Milei's party win to victory and rescued his presidency. Mr. Noboa met Mr. Trump 2 weeks before his re-election in March of 2025. Last month, Flavio Bolsonaro, the leading right-wing candidate for Brazil's upcoming election, met Mr. Trump in the Oval Office. The members of this growing network of Trump allies also support each other. Mr. De La Espriella's campaign received public backing not just from Mr. Trump, but also from Milei, Asfira, and in Paraguay, Mr. Peña. Mr. Noboa went further. Just before the first round of the Colombian presidential election, he promised at Mr. De La Espriella's request to remove tariffs he had imposed on Ecuador's northern neighbor as a gesture of goodwill. This chumminess is not necessarily organic. The right has long complained about the influence of Sao Paulo Forum, a get-together of Latin American left-wingers. Now it is building a rival structure for the social media age. Axel Kaiser, a Chilean public intellectual influencer, is part of it. His brother ran for president in Chile as a far-right candidate in 2025, winning 14% of the votes in the first round before backing Mr. Cast. Ideas precede institutional change and political change, says Mr. Kaiser, echoing the maxim of the conservative American journalist Andrew Breitbart, that politics is downstream of culture. This network of influencers dramatically changed the mentality of millions of people, he claims. Amplifying these ideas are people like Agustin Antonelli, a 24-year-old Argentine social media influencer. He and those like him definitely make an impact. Last November, Claudia Sheinbaum, Mexico's left-wing president, blamed him for fomenting protests against her government. The Cuban regime has denounced him as a CIA operative. I was following what was happening from my bed, he chuckles. But he says there is no doubt that social media and fundamental to right-wing is fundamental to right-wing success. Mr. Kaiser calls it decisive, especially for outsiders like Mr. De La Espriella. Some 40% of Latin Americans say social media are their main source of news, double the share in Europe. Humor is powerful online, says Vincent Fernandez Muzan, who runs Mr. Malay's digital campaigns. The online left, in contrast, is boring. The left can't meme. The left isn't funny. The left fucking sucks. Being able to convey a message and actually share real information is what makes social media dangerous to the leftist regime and the establishment. And that's why they fucking hate it. That's why they hate that Elon Musk bought Twitter, because now that you can't just censor all of the truth that's being shared. So it gets out. The fact that 40% of Latin Americans use social media as their main source of news is incredible. And also explains why they are moving more right-wing, because they are actually seeing the factual reality of what's going on in the world. New media outlets matter too. Leading the charge is La Derecha Diario, a hard-right news website launched in 2020. Its co-owner, Javier Negre, a Spanish journalist, sits in the White House press pool. Mr. Trump, he says, shows the way to a lot of candidates in Latin America that didn't have the support of legacy media. La Derecha Diario helps our candidates deliver their message without fake news, he says. The line between news organization and campaign consultant is hard to detect. He claims to be very close to 9 presidents and to be helping Mr. De La Espriella because he is a friend. Sometimes he is paid to help candidates' messages go viral. Sometimes his services are free, he says. Campaign strategists and lobbyists help spread techniques. Another Argentine, Fernando Cremedo, who co-owns La Derecha Diario with Mr. Negre, says perhaps the most important. In 2023, he helped to run Mr. Malay's social media strategy. He stepped in to arrange for Tucker Carlson to interview Mr. Malay when he was running for president. He says he managed Mr. Asfero's campaign in Honduras and co-coordinated Mr. Trump's endorsement. He helped to get Mr. Paz elected in Bolivia and continues to work as an advisor to the president. He works closely with Brad Parscale, Mr. Trump's former campaign manager. The record of the Trumpian leaders in office is mixed so far. Mr. Bukel's remarkable success in slashing the murder rate has come at a huge cost in people locked up without due process or trials. Who fucking cares? They're criminals. He has also changed the Constitution to allow himself to stay in power. Do it. His security model is unlikely to work as well elsewhere. El Salvador is tiny and its gangs are largely domestic. Colombia is more than 50 times bigger and 8 times more populous. It produces 2/3 of the world's cocaine, and its gangs are deeply embedded in transnational criminal networks. That's why Colombia needs to be working with the U.S. military. In Ecuador, also larger and battling international gangs, Mr. Noboa has copied Mr. Bukel and also called in the army to little avail. The homicide rate was 46 per 100,000 in 2023, the year he took office. It fell slightly in 2024, but then rose to an all-time high of 51 in 2025, even as several large gang leaders were captured. So far, 2026 looks a little better, but after nearly 3 years of Mr. Noboa, the country remains exceptionally bloody. And some of this is not as... some of these battles are not real straightforward and not like you can't expect to win those in a couple of years. But the fact that they are trying will give people hope, because the left was not. The left is perfectly fine with just allowing criminals to run rampant and do whatever the fuck they want and not fight it at all. Malay-flavored Trumpism. Mr. Trump's new friends are doing better at managing their economies. After inheriting an extraordinary economic mess, Mr. Malay's aggressive spending cuts and deregulation have pulled inflation sharply downward, allowing for capital controls to be reduced and the peso to be partially floated. Growth is uneven and jobs are a problem, however. Still, he has far exceeded most expectations. Mr. Noboa's macroeconomic management has been prudent and tightly in line with the IMF's recommendations. Borrowing costs have fallen sharply. Growth remains patchy, however. In Chile, Mr. Cast's pro-market plans look sensible. They are only now starting to kick in, but reaching the 4% growth that he promises will be difficult. Taking steps in the right direction are still taking steps in the right direction. It's crazy. This publication is called The Economist, and everything that I read from The Economist tends to be generally pretty economically illiterate. The fact that these countries are actually doing something to try to move in the right direction is pretty fucking impressive, especially considering under their communist rules before, they were in the tank, going further in the tank to the point that people were fleeing the countries. Now they're actually working in the direction of building stuff. Wow, crazy. Markets cheered Mr. de L'esrella's election, and he is right to say he will get his grip on Colombia's soaring public debt, but his commitment is undermined by his crowd-pleasing promises of cheap mortgages and extra spending. His pledge to deliver 7% growth looks extremely hard to fulfill. Most of the good economic news has been delivered by orthodox right-wing policy, smaller states and freer markets, rather than by Trumpian favorites such as tariffs. And this is something that a lot of economically literate pro-Trumpers have said is, you know, like a lot of the big Trump policies are very big government, big spendy, not good. It's why Elon Musk took opposition to a lot of Trump spending and stuff when Elon was with Doge, and then ultimately resulting in him leaving Doge, was because that stuff does not help build anything. Indeed, unlike Mr. Trump and some Latin American leftists, so far most of the new right seem to be respectful of central bank independence. Whether all of this will be enough to secure future re-elections for the new right remains to be seen. The region is highly polarized, and some victories have been extremely tight. The left could win elections again soon, yet even if it does, the right is now dominated by much more hardline and populist ideas and leaders. That will probably not change soon. Even center-right figures have been becoming more extreme to try to stay relevant with little success. With little success because we know who the fucking cowards are. They should have a brand put in the middle of their fucking head that says Rhino and ignore them forever. They are not actually Republican. They are not actually conservative. They are just a bunch of commies who were able to get elected as right-wingers because they come from red states. South America figured it out. They're going to try to act more populist. They're going to try to act more hard right because they want to remain relevant. You should absolutely reject that and cast them out on their fucking heads. So, when the right wins again, it may well be a hardline populist variety. As with Mr. Trump, the next iterations of hard right governments in Latin America may be even more disruptive than the first. And that's a good thing. Then maybe some of the illegal immigration from South America can get under control. They can stay in their own countries. They don't need to flee because they're actually building economies. They're actually building safety. The whole idea of, oh, we need to take in these refugees because they come from these unsafe places. Wow. Why are they unsafe? It's because they got a bunch of fucking communists that won't punish criminals. And now the communists are out of power. They're punishing criminals. They're safe again. They're building economies. They can stay there. They can go back. Send them all back. Love you. Thanks for coming to visit. Get the fuck out. Your home country is now safe for you to return. And if it's not safe for you to return, that's probably because you were a criminal, and as soon as you get back, they're going to throw your ass in jail. In which case, get the fuck out even faster. All these pro-Palestinian retards, you know why those countries, like, yeah, we did a lot of bombing in the Middle East, and so maybe there's some refugees because of that, because, you know, war-torn Middle Eastern countries, blah, blah, blah. Except that literally for all of human history, those people have been fucking killing each other. That's always been war-torn. They've always been unsafe. Everything that that the left loves about Palestinians, that's what causes the whole region to be unsafe. Because that's who they are. Could glass the whole fucking thing and the world would not lose anything. Send them all back and let them fight their own fucking wars. Yeah. That's what South America's doing. Pack them all up and get them the fuck out. Send them back wherever they came from. Throw them in jail and let them figure it the fuck out. South America is moving in the right direction. Hopefully, the United States will take notice and continue to move in the right direction as well. And round up all of these fucking migrant bastards and send them back to their fucking shithole countries. That'll do it for today. I feel like I cussed a lot more than I normally do, but we're winding it down, so it's all right. I will be back next week. I'm trying to remember which article. I'm not sure. I got like 3 different articles, and I'm trying to narrow it down and finish this. And I think 2 of them might actually go well together. So I might do the 2 again. Like I did the 2 for this one this week. I might do 2 again for next week, and then kind of take it from there. Anyway, that'll do it for today. I will see you next week. Have a good one. Later.